Did you really think that we're never going to defrost the milk that we froze? Guys, come on. All right, so come along with me and let me teach you how to defrost your breast milk and warm it up safely to feed it to your little human. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Winging It with AC. My name is AC. So in our last video, I taught you guys how to freeze your breast milk properly. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to defrost it, warm it up, and serve it to your little human. But before we get started with this video, guys, since that video where I talked about our goal to get to 500 subscribers by the end of September, guys, I've gotten 41 more subscribers. Guys, to my new subscribers, you are warmly welcome to my channel where we are winging motherhood together. Thank you so much for your support. September is not over, so please, let's get to work. Support a sister to get to 500 subscribers. Now let's get started. Okay, so you're ready to defrost some milk for your little human. Okay, now the first thing you need to know is always defrost the older milk first. So if you have milk from January, you have milk from February, you have milk from March, April, May, defrost one from January first. So you always want to use your oldest milk first. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can use to defrost and warm up your milk for your little human. The first one is place the breast milk bag in a bowl and then place it in the refrigerator. Now, the reason why you would want to place it in a bowl before putting it in the refrigerator is sometimes you may have a faulty breast milk bag, and then by the time you realize once everything has defrosted, you would have lost some milk that would have spilled into the refrigerator. So if you put it in a clean, sterilized bowl, if there happens to be a slit or a puncture in the bag, the milk will flow into the bowl and you can still add it to the milk they are going to feed to your human. It is liquid gold. We don't want to let any drop go to waste. Now for this method, it is for if you know that you're going to be away the next day, so that you can take your time and defrost the milk. So I was using this usually from Monday to Fridays, because I would have to go to work and then the nanny would have to feed my baby. So I would calculate how many ounces that he needs while I'm away. So for me, I was always leaving 4 bottles of milk for him throughout my working day. And depending on where he was at, I would calculate how much he needed. So if he was at a point where he needed 4 ounces of milk at a sitting, which means for the 4 bottles, I needed to get 16 ounces of milk. So the night before, I'll calculate how many ounces of milk I needed to take out of the freezer. Reason being is that I don't always freeze, like all the packs of milk in the freezer are not 5-ounce packs. Some are 3-ounce packs, some are 4-ounce packs, some are 6-ounce packs, some are 5-ounce packs. So in the case where I need 16 ounces of milk, I would probably take out 2 5-ounce packs, so that gives me 10 ounces, and then I'll take out 2 3-ounce packs, so that gives me 6 ounces. So adding that all together will give me 16 ounces, and then the following morning everything would have thawed out nicely, and then I just pour them into the 4 feeding bottles and then put them back into the fridge. So whenever the nanny was ready to feed him, she would just take out 1 bottle and then warm it up. Now the second method you can use to defrost your breast milk and then warm it up, this method is more so if you need it quickly. So maybe you just fed your baby and maybe it wasn't enough for him or her and you need to quickly warm up another 2 or 3 ounces. You just take it out of the freezer and then you pop it into a bowl of warm water. Warm to hot water. So you just pop it into the bowl of warm water and then let it sit, and then once it's warm enough, transfer it into the feeding bottle and feed it to your child. Now before you feed it, always make sure that you test it. Okay, so what you do is that you test a drop or 2 on the inside of your wrist. Now I'm told this is the most sensitive part of the arm. Make sure that when it drops there, it doesn't feel hot, it just feels warm, and then you know that it's ready for you to feed it to your baby. If it's hot, you're going to scald your baby's mouth and you don't want that. Now, the third way that you can defrost your milk is also a quick way to defrost your milk if you need to feed it to your baby immediately, and it's to place it under running water, and the running water has to be warm to hot. So it's the same method as placing it in a bowl, but this one you just have it under running water, and then you just keep turning it around just to help it to melt down faster. Now, there are two ways that you do not want to warm your milk. The first one is never put it in the microwave. Okay, now the reason being is that warming up milk rapidly, one, can cause hot spots in the milk, and then you can scald your baby's mouth. And then the second thing is that it destroys some of the nutrients and the antibodies in the milk, so you don't want to do that. Neither do you want to warm it up over boiling water. The water can be hot and you just pour it in a bowl and then put the milk in it, but not that you have the water in boiling water that is boiling and you have it inside while it's heating up. That is a no. So those are the two ways you want to make sure that you do not use in warming up your milk. Now, another thing you need to remember is that once you thaw your breast milk, you are not supposed to refreeze it. Now, if you check and there are some icicles still in it, you can refreeze it. So for instance, we are in Ghana, you have doomsday once in a while. If perhaps there was some kind of electrical fault and then your lights have you haven't had power for like 2 or 3 days, and you're worried that you have to throw away all your breast milk that has been in the freezer, just check them to see if there are icicles in them. If there's still some ice in it, you can refreeze it. But if you've thawed it completely, do not refreeze it. So if you've thawed it and it's in the fridge, maybe you thawed it in the fridge, and you can keep it in the fridge for 24 hours, after which you have to dispose of it. Now, if you've thawed it, you warmed it up and you fed it to your human, and maybe she didn't drink everything, you have 1 ounce or 2 ounces remaining, it can sit out for at most 2 hours before you have to dispose of it. So if within the 2 hours your baby doesn't drink any more of it, you have to dispose of it. Now, this also applies to freshly pumped milk. If you have freshly pumped milk that you fed to your baby in a bottle and they didn't drink everything, you have a 1 to 2 hour window to feed the remaining to your baby, after which you have to throw it away. Now, this is because when they are drinking from the bottle, bacteria could get inside from their saliva. So that's the main reason why you shouldn't keep leftover milk for more than 2 hours. Now, remember this: when you thaw breast milk, when you thaw frozen breast milk, it can have a soapy smell and taste, or mine smelled like iron, like, I don't know if I should say rusted iron, but it smelled like iron and it tasted like iron. I couldn't stand the taste of it, honestly. But if your human is drinking it, that is totally fine. Leave it as it is. There are some people who have that taste in their frozen breast milk, and their babies don't like it. There's a method you can use to help to prevent that, and it's called the scalding method. I'll talk about that another time. So you can look into that and try that and see if it works out for your baby. But if your baby drinks every ounce every time you give it to your baby, leave your milk that way. You may not like the smell, you may not like the taste, but so far as they are drinking it, that is what matters. Now, one more thing you need to remember when you are warming up your milk for your baby. So once you warm up the milk, breast milk when pumped tends to separate after a while. So you realize that the liquid, the portion at the bottom is watery, and then there's a fat sediment at the top. So before you feed it to your baby, make sure that you swirl it around, just to make sure that you mix everything up, and then you feed it to your baby. So guys, it's very simple to defrost your frozen breast milk. It's very simple to warm up your breast milk to feed it to your little human. I really hope that these tips have been helpful. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos on breastfeeding, I have a playlist. Just click on the link down below in the description box and then watch all the videos about breastfeeding, how to make your stash, how to freeze the milk, and this video how to defrost your milk, and how breast milk works, how the supply of breast milk works. Just educate yourselves. Share this video with a friend that will find it helpful and useful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.